Thank you for watching another episode of Dvar Malchus. This week from the 21st of Elul, 5751, Parshas Savo, Savo by the Lubavitcher Rebbe. We are on page 179. Here we go. In continuation to the command in our Parsha regarding the mitzvah of bringing the first fruit to the base of Migdash, Bikurim and Vidui Maser upon entering the land of Israel, Eretz Yisrael, and with this Moshe completed the expansion of the Torah, or rather the explanation of the Torah, and to dictate the mitzvahs that Hashem commanded him, which he began on the 11th month, on the first day of the month, on the other side of the Jordan River, in the land of Moab. Moshe began to speak about the general fulfillment of the entire Torah and all the mitzvahs and the covenant between Hashem and the Jewish people regarding this. For I have already completed telling you all of it in the book of the Mishnah Torah, Deuteronomy. Today Hashem, your God, commands you to do these statutes and laws, and you shall guard and do them with all your heart and your soul, all your soul. And after this, guard the entire commandment that I command you today, and it will be on the day that you pass over the Jordan River into the land that you shall erect yourself big rocks, and you shall write on them all the words of this Torah. And the Jewish people heed and hear. Today you have become a nation to Hashem your God, and you shall heed the voice of Hashem your God and do his mitzvahs. And afterwards, in the continuation of the Parsha, it speaks at length about the words of the covenant that Hashem commanded Moshe to make with the Jewish people in the land of Moab, in addition to the covenant that he made with them at Mount Sinai, including the final words of the Parsha. And you shall guard the words of this covenant and do them so that you will be successful in all you do. And this topic continues also in the following Parshas of Nitzavim and Elech, Hazanu, and Ves Habracha, where it discusses not specific mitzvahs, rather the covenant regarding the Torah and mitzvahs in general, and guarding matters connected to this, since the command and the covenant for the Torah and mitzvahs in general is writing, following the mitzvah of Bikurim as one long passage. We may say that having a related content, as known, the accuracy of all aspects of Torah, also the order of the Torah, and especially according to the explanation of Rashi, that today Hashem your God commanded you, and you shall guard and do them, is a blessing that comes from the fulfillment of the mitzvahs of Bikurim, which is discussed before this. A voice from heaven blessed them, and you brought the Bikurim today, and you shall repeat this the coming year. Furthermore, the covenant for the Torah and the mitzvahs in general is written in the same Parshas, in the mitzvah of Bikurim, and the beginning of the Parshas is regarding this Bikurim, which the beginning of everything, even regarding how people talk, and most certainly in holiness in Torah, leads to and its connection to the continuation of it. Now, we must understand what is the relation between the mitzvah of Bikurim, which is the first fruits, and the covenant regarding the acceptance of the Torah and mitzvahs, all of the Torah and mitzvah. Seemingly, Bikurim is one specific mitzvah among all the mitzvahs of the Torah, and has specific conditions and limitations in time, place, person, and type, specifically in the land of Eretz Yisrael in the time the base of Migdash stood, specifically from the 7 species with which the land of Eretz Yisrael is praised, and from the choicest of them, specifically one who has land in the land of Israel and praiseworthy land. The passage of Bikurim is read only in a joyous time from Shavuos until Sukkot. And more, what is the connection of this with today Hashem your God commands you, which refers to all the mitzvahs which Jews are obligated in every time and in every place, as the commentary of Rashi on the voice of every day, they should be anew in your eyes, as if that day itself you were commanded to do them. Also, we must understand regarding the name of the Parsha, Savo, we have spoken many times regarding the names of the Parsha, that the names express the content of the thing which is called by that name, and based on this, we need an explanation regarding our Parsha. Savo means entering of the Jewish people into the land of Eretz Yisrael, which this is seemingly only an introduction, preparation for the fulfillment of the mitzvah of Bikurim and other mitzvahs which we need to fulfill after entering the land. And nevertheless, the entire Parsha, beginning with the actual mitzvah of Bikurim, including also the covenant regarding the acceptance of the mitzvahs in general in our Parsha, is also called by the name Savo, which is nothing more than a preparation and introduction to the fulfillment of the mitzvahs in the land. We will understand this by first explaining an innovation in the mitzvah of Bikurim in comparison to the other form of giving thanks to Hashem. The content of bringing Bikurim and Bikurim resuscitation is the recognition that from Hashem we receive all the blessings in the world. The blessing of Hashem gives a Jew the abundance of grain and fruits in his field, which therefore he gives to Hashem from the first of all fruits of the land, from the first, the best of the field, and thanks Hashem, and is not ungrateful for the fruits that Hashem blessed him with, and for all his kindness, the kindness of Hashem. And you should answer and say before Hashem your God, he should relate the kindness of Hashem upon us and upon the entire Jewish nation in general. The feeling of gratitude Hashem for all his kindness, and therefore saying thanks and giving praise to Hashem in a general concept in the life of a Jew, beginning immediately when one arises from his sleep through recognition and declaring, Modeh ani lefanecha, I am thankful before you for returning my soul into me. And this is the foundation, the gate to his service of Hashem, which is continued to the blessings and prayer. We thank you for our life, which is placed in your hands and in your wonders and goodness at all times, evening, morning, and afternoon, and in the numerous brachos hanenim, blessings for pleasure, which a Jew blesses and thanks Hashem throughout the whole day, and every good and pleasure that he receives, including and mainly the blessing after meals, which is a biblical obligation, who provides sustenance to the entire world with goodness, favor, kindness, and mercy. Furthermore, even after the nations of the world who believe and recognize that Hashem is the creator and conductor of the world, there is a custom to thank Hashem for giving them food, etc. And this is even more emphasized according to the known Torah insight of the Baal Shem Tov, explained in detail by the Alter Rebbe, that the creation of the entire world is renewed every day and every moment, which is a boundless kindness of Hashem, the creator of the world, to create to every created being, which affects the created being and beings, and brings him to a deep recognition and feeling that he and all that is around him completely depends on the constant kindness of Hashem. In the mitzvah of Bikurim, we find, however, an innovation, a deeper and more concrete explanation of being thankful to Hashem. The Jew expresses his feelings of gratitude for the kindness not only in speech, rather he expresses it in an even stronger way in action. He takes from the first of all the fruit of the field and brings it to the base of Migdash, brings it to the house of Hashem your God, to the place that Hashem your God will choose to make his name dwell there, and leaves it before Hashem and places it before Hashem your God. And this expresses the complete acknowledgement that the world and all in it belongs to Hashem, that everything belongs to Hashem. The Jew does not suffice with the acknowledgement that all his wealth comes to him by the kindness of Hashem. Rather, he shows with his bringing the Bikurim that also after receiving the bounty of fruit, the fruit of all his possessions still belonging to Hashem, since the world and everything that is in it belongs to Hashem, and therefore he brings the first of all the fruit of the field, the first and the best, before Hashem your God, and it remains in the possession of Hashem. And this is the act of bringing Bikurim before Hashem your God in a manner that it remains there, permeates the one bringing the Bikurim in every deeper way that he should realize. Moreover, feel how his entire being and all that is found in his possessions belong before Hashem your God, since bringing Bikurim in action expresses this recognition not only in his thought and speech as through giving praise in the blessing after meal, rather also in his action. This permeates his entire being, all his garments, to the extent that the action overtakes him in a deep way that also influences his speech. And you shall answer and say before Hashem your God that he says it loud, and you should answer, meaning raising your voice with joy, and his thought and intention in it. And may we say the explanation of this, that our sages say the Jewish people are called Bikurim, as the verses say, as the first fruit of a fig tree I perceived your forefathers. The Jewish people are sacred to Hashem. The first of his grain. For just as Bikurim, an idiom of Bechor, firstborn, there are first of the fruit of the field, and the Bikurim come before all other tithes. Likewise, the Jewish people are the beginning of the world, proceeding the higher than all that was created, and through the Jewish people proceeded everything, as our sages say on the verse, in the beginning Hashem created the heavens and the earth, and that the world was created for the Jewish people, who are called the beginning of his grains. And this applies not only to the souls of the Jewish people in general above in heaven, or to the Jewish people in general below, rather to every single Jew below, men, women, and children, as our sages say. Each and every one is obligated to say, the world was created for me. Every Jew must say that the world was created for him. And just as the literal Bikurim must be brought to Jerusalem and left at the base of Migdash before Hashem your God, likewise it is also regarding the Jewish people, being that they are Bikurim of the world. The true place of a Jew and every Jew is before Hashem your God at the base of Migdash, since the main and true essence of the Jew also, in a soul and a body below, in his godly soul, which is a portion of Hashem from up high, literally to the extent in the known words that the Jewish people and Hashem are completely one, and therefore every Jew, whatever state he may find himself, is connected and united with Hashem, and therefore he must be also in revealed way before Hashem your God, lefanah, before, both in its simple meaning in the presence of close to Hashem, as well as its deeper meaning, an idiom of Pimenius, the innermost part in the innermost of Hashem your God. The Jewish people and Hashem are completely one, for although the entire world is created by Hashem, nevertheless the world is created only as a means for the Jewish people that are called your first, and as a result it does not reach the inner lefanah, will and intention of Hashem your God, whereas the Jewish people who are Bikurim first, the purpose is they themselves, and all the things are created for the Jewish people, since the Jewish people and Hashem are completely one. Therefore they are connected to lefanah, the innermost of Hashem your God, and it, Havaya, the name of Hashem meaning creator, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, becomes Elokecha, your God, speaking to an individual, not Elohim, your God, speaking to a group, your strength and your vitality, since every Jew, even when he finds himself as a soul and a body below, that was created from the name Havaya, as he is vested in Elokecha. Your strength and your vitality is on the level of Bikurim, as mentioned before, that each and every one is obligated to say the world was created for me, and we do not know the difference. We do not differentiate between one Jew and another, rather each and every one, literally even a person that is on a low level externally is obligated to say the world was created for me. From this it is understood that the fact that a Jew is before Hashem your God must permeate the entire life of a Jew in general, and also in its details. A Jew must feel that every detail of his life is part of Bikurim for Hashem, not only when he is occupied in godly matters, Torah study and fulfillment of mitzvos, rather even when he is occupied with the mundane things of livelihood and the like. Indeed, being that they are the mundane matters of a Jew, they are also part of the phenomenon of Bikurim, and as a result they must be permeated with the fullest and highest amount of loftiness and holiness befits something that is done before Hashem your God. And even regarding a mere one thought, speech, or action which seems insignificant in comparison to other thoughts, speech, or actions, nonetheless, being a thought, speech, or action of a Jew, it is part of Bikurim, which belongs to the base of Migdash before Hashem your God. And the explanation of this is, as mentioned before, being that it is a part of a Jew's life, and a Jew is completely one with Hashem, and he is not a means for another thing. Rather, the intention and goal is in himself. It is understood that likewise is true regarding the details of his life, in every detail that a Jew does, even thought, speech, or action of his, and in every moment in time or point in space in which he finds himself, even a single and very minute one. Relatively speaking, it is part of Bikurim, which are before Hashem your God, in the base of Migdash, the sanctuary that your hands, O Hashem, established, and also in this moment and in this place, even if it is something temporary, he has an obligation to say, for me the entire world was created, since everything was created for the service of a Jew. In thought, speech, or action in this particular time or in this particular place, as it is known that the steps of man are established by Hashem, similar to the sanctuary that your hands, O Hashem, have established. To the extent that a Jew has the power and authority to accomplish a change and revolution in the realm of time and place, the Jewish people sanctify the times, and likewise regarding sanctifying a place through building a shul and the like. Based on this, we can understand that the innovation of the mitzvah of Bikurim in comparison to other ways of thanking and praising Hashem, the deeper content of Bikurim, namely bringing out the true existence of a Jew in the one thing with Hashem, that therefore all their details are before Hashem your God, reflects itself in the fulfillment of the mitzvah of Bikurim in the simple sense through the Jewish people, that is not only an offering of thanks in speech, rather also in action. We bring the physical fruits before Hashem your God, and they remain in the possession of Hashem. The physical fruits become holiness, and this overtakes the Jew who brings in the Bikurim expressed in his thought, speech, and action, that he, the Jew, becomes the declarer, the source of who says and sings the praise of Hashem. And you should answer and say before Hashem your God that all those around him, including the Kohen that will be in those times, and also Hashem himself, so to say, stand and listen to what he is saying, not only as the relationship of a creator and creation, that the creation thanks Hashem for bestowing vitality and kindness. However, the creator and the creation remain two separate things, as mentioned above. Through fulfilling the mitzvah of Bikurim, we reveal below in the lowest world that the Jewish people as souls and bodies of Bikurim, first in the entire world, of whom the entire world was created. For this we can understand all the embracing concept of the mitzvah of Bikurim, which connect to all the Torah and mitzvah in general. Bikurim expresses the goal of the fulfillment of the entire Torah and mitzvahs, that a Jew also, he has a soul and a body in this physical world, should be openly in a state of being Bikurim, first an entire world, since he is one thing with Hashem before Hashem your God. The Jewish people and Hashem are completely one. Furthermore and deeper, the fact that the Jewish people are Bikurim, the thought of the Jewish people preceded everything is even regarding Torah. For although Bereshit, go back, the fact that the Jewish people are Bikurim, the thought of the Jewish people to Hashem, that is, preceded everything, and even regarding Torah. For although Bereshit, first, the world was created for the Torah, that it is called the beginning of his way, and the Jewish people who are called the first of his grain. Two things preceded the world, Torah and the Jewish people, and I do not know which one comes first. Nevertheless, when he says, command the Jewish people, speak to the Jewish people, I know the Jewish people came first, being that the entire Torah is commands to the Jewish people. Meaning of this is, however, not that the Jewish people, as they preceded, are higher than the Torah, have no connection, heaven forbid, with the Torah, as understood from this itself, that one word, Bereshit, including two first, the Torah and the Jewish people. In other words, although in a revealed sense Torah and the Jewish people are two things, nevertheless in truth and in essence they are one thing. The Torah are connected to the Jewish people are connected to the Torah. The words of the Torah are our life and the length of our days, and the Torah is connected to the Jewish people. The entire Torah is commands to the Jewish people, and the meaning of the Jewish people preceding the Torah is similar to a cause and effect, so to say. Torah was given because of the Jewish people, commands to the Jewish people, and therefore saving a life overrides the entire Torah and not the opposite. The fulfillment of the Torah is not possible without the Jewish people, and it is necessary to have Jewish people who will accept and fulfill the Torah, which is an inheritance for the congregation of Yaakov, whereas the existence of the Jewish people is possible even if one person transgresses Torah and mitzvahs, heaven forbid, as the word of our sages, although he sinned, he is still a Jew, since the Jewish people are higher than the Torah, as this expresses itself in a clear way in the phenomenon of tshuva, return to Hashem, that even one who transgresses, heaven forbid, the Torah can do tshuva, since his soul reaches a place that is higher than Torah, as known regarding they ask the Torah, they ask Hashem, he said he should do tshuva and he will forgive. However, since the Torah comes together with the Jewish people to first, only that within itself the Jewish people proceeded. It is understood that the essence of the Jewish people is connected to Torah, since the Jewish people are connected in essence to Hashem, and therefore also to his blessed wisdom and will, Torah, which is completely one with Hashem, and therefore the existence of the Jewish people itself being one with Hashem, bringing a Jew to fulfill the Torah actually and clearly as the ruling of the Rambam, that the inner desire of a Jew, even in a state that his evil inclination attacks him, is always to fulfill the will of Hashem. He wants to be a Jew and wants to do all the mitzvahs and distance himself from transgressions. Only that usually this itself, the Jewish people preceded Torah, is revealed in a clear way through Torah, since according to the order and service of the usual manner, as it ought to be from the perspective of a person goes in the straight path, a Jew must learn Torah and fulfill its mitzvahs, and through this the virtue of the Jewish people is revealed. However, also without it is possible that the essence of the Jewish people should be revealed as they are above the Torah, as this expresses itself in the service of tshuva as mentioned above. And the explanation of this regarding the wording of 3 knots are tied with each other, Hashem, the Torah, and the Jewish people. There is a known question. 3 things connect through 2 knots. Why does it say 3 knots? And one of the explanations of this is, in addition to the connection of the Jewish people to Hashem, which is accomplished through Torah, there is also a third connection between the Jewish people and Hashem, as the Jewish people are higher than Torah, and even more so, they connect the Torah to Hashem, who is higher than Torah. Meaning, within a Jew, there are 2 levels. A soul of the Jewish people descends below in a body in this physical world, where there are literal created existence, which due to the concealment of the world, their connection to Hashem is not clearly evident, and therefore we must reveal it through Torah, which even as it descends below, it is clearly evident that the Torah and Hashem are completely one, and through this the connection of the Jewish people to the Torah and the essence of the Jewish people is revealed, as the Jewish people and Hashem are completely one, and they proceed and are higher than the Torah, and therefore the Jewish people have the power to contribute to the Torah, including that they connect to the Torah to Hashem, who is above the Torah as mentioned above. And we may say that since the Jewish people, even as they find themselves below, they are Bikurim before Hashem your God, therefore even as they are below the essence of the Jewish people, as they are higher than the Torah is present, and this expresses itself in the revealed way in the phenomenon of tshuva as mentioned above, and as it is understood also from the above mentioned words of our sages that each and every one is obligated to say the world was created for me, which obviously includes each and every Jew, even Haaretz, ignorant one, who does not have a revealed connection to Torah, as alluded to in the words of our sages, even in the level of the world was created, which precede the giving of the Torah, and before the command to study the Torah, there is the obligation to say the world was created for me. And we may say that this expresses itself actually regarding a Jewish infant and a small child before he begins to speak and is capable of studying Torah in a revealed way, and likewise a child in knowledge who does not yet have a revealed connection to Torah, not by his own fault, heaven forbid, rather an infant that was captured and raised among non-Jews, that since Hashem placed him in this environment and it is not his fault, therefore although he does not yet have a revealed connection to Torah, also he is on the level of Bikurim, who belongs before Hashem your God, who precedes and is higher than all matters of the world, and even precedes Torah, and all matters were created for him. In other words, the actual service of Hashem, that there are 2 matters. Usually the connection of the Jewish people and Hashem is through the Torah, which therefore Torah study is equal to all of them, and it is constant obligation upon every Jew to study Torah in every free moment. And since this is the entire existence is dependent, and since his entire existence is dependent on it, regarding however one who is in a state not due to his fault, that he does not have yet a revealed connection to Torah, the concept of Bikurim applies to him, and for him everything was created. What more, this itself brings him to the Torah as mentioned above, and we may say that the all-embracing concept of the mitzvah of Bikurim, revealing the virtue of the Jewish people, Bikurim, even in this physical world, including their virtue in the preceding Torah, is expressed also in the Bikurim recitation and passage, that one bringing the Bikurim says, and you shall answer and say before Hashem your God, Arami tried to destroy my father, and he went down to Egypt, and Hashem took us out of Egypt and gave us the land, which this, the descendant of Yaakov, to Egypt, the exodus from Egypt, and the entry into the land of Israel are general manners connected to all the Jewish people in all generations. The content of this resuscitation is that although Arami tried to destroy my father, Yaakov was by Lavan, and Lavan desired to uproot everything when he ran after Yaakov, and also others came upon us to annihilate us, and he descended to Egypt, and he settled there together with a small amount of people, with 70 people, which all of this was before the giving of the Torah. Nevertheless, not only did this not, heaven forbid, negatively affect Yaakov and his children, rather on the contrary, they became a great and strong nation there, both in quality as well as in quantity as well as quantity, beginning already in the time of Yaakov, who merited that all his children were complete, to the extent that when Yaakov was uncertain about this, the children told him, "Hear, Yisrael, Yaakov our forefather, Hashem our God, Hashem is one. Just as your heart there is only one, so too we have in our heart only one." Thereafter Yaakov our forefather responded and said, "Blessed is the name of his honorable majesty forever and ever." This is the Shema and Baruch Shem that we say after. That even when they were in Egypt, nevertheless, we have in our heart only one, the true, complete union with Hashem before Hashem your God. Hashem took us out of Egypt with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, with true awesomeness, signs and wonders including, and he brought us to a place, and he gave us a land that flows with milk and honey. He chose the Jewish people as the Bikurim of the entire world, and therefore the Jewish people bring a portion of the portion, the first fruit of the land of Hashem gave me, and place it before Hashem your God, which this shows the Jewish people also before the giving of the Torah, before they receive a revelation connection to Torah below, are on a level of Bikurim that preceded everything, even Torah, and this is revealed through the phenomenon that they became a great and strong nation over there. And afterward Hashem took us out of Egypt with a strong hand and outstretched arm, with true awesomeness, signs and wonders including, and he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land that flows with milk and honey. Based on this, we will also truly appreciate the law regarding Bikurim, that Bikurim must be brought in a vessel. As the verse says, and you shall place it in a basket. More specifically, the law is that if he brought them in a metal vessel, as was the custom of the rich people, and they brought the Bikurim in baskets of silver and baskets of gold, the Kohen takes the Bikurim in the vessel, is returned to the owner, and if he brought them in a straw basket or the like, as the custom of the poor people, the Bikurim and the baskets go to the Kohanim. The complete revelation of this, of the virtue of the Jewish people as Bikurim, is that also when they are in a vessel, a soul in a vessel of a limited body, including even in a poor person's vessel, poverty is only in knowledge. It is evident that they are Bikurim. What more Bikurim must be brought in a vessel? The Bikurim came before Hashem your God specifically through a vessel, to the extent that specifically a vessel made of very simple things of this lowest world, of which there is no lower than it, became one of the Bikurim, as such that the Bikurim and the baskets go to the Kohens, and that also the vessels itself becomes the level of before Hashem your God. And furthermore, through this is accomplished that there should be the phenomenon of place it in a basket, acronym of musical notes and vowels and letters, that we have completeness of Torah, not only the letters and vowels of the Torah, rather also the musical notes. And in the manner of you shall place the Bikurim into the Jew that puts himself in the internalized way into the musical notes, vowels, and letters of the Torah. Based on the above, we will understand in a greater depth the connection of the mitzvah of Bikurim to the continuation of the Parsha on discussing the covenant regarding the Torah and mitzvahs in general. In addition to what was explained earlier, the Bikurim expresses the content of all the Torah and mitzvahs. Bikurim, the essence Bikurim, the essential quality of the Jewish people, that they perceive the Torah in the beginning and foundation of all the Torah and mitzvahs, due to the fact that the Jewish people and Hashem are completely one. Hashem makes a covenant in the first place with the Jewish people that unites Hashem and the Jewish people as the unity of the two parts of the split animal in the covenant. This is with Avram Avinu, I believe. Okay, moving on. In clearly revealed way also below, which this is actualized and realized through guarding the words of this covenant, the Jewish people accept upon themselves and fulfill the Torah and mitzvahs of Hashem. Today, Hashem, your God, commands you to do these statutes and laws, and you shall guard and do them with all your heart and all your soul, in a manner that this takes him over completely, as such that we see clearly in the words that Hashem singled you out today to be a precious nation for him, and to place you above all the nations that he made for praise, significance, and splendor. With this, we will also understand more in detail the connection of Bikurim to the exposition of Rashi on the verse, today Hashem your God commanded you. Every day it should be anew in your eyes, as if it were that very day you were commanded them. We spoke earlier that since the purpose of the Jewish people being Bikurim is they themselves, and all was created for them, therefore it is understood that every detail of the life of a Jew, even a person that as of yet does not have a revealed connection to Torah, every moment in time, every point in space, every single thought, speech, or action has a purpose in itself and is not all a means to another thing, meaning that it is a completely new thing due to the purpose that this detail has in itself, regarding which there is obligated to say, for me, for this detail, the world was creating, meaning that everything in the world, all moments in time, are included in this one moment. For this it is understood that the power of accomplished that every day Torah and mitzvah should be anew in your eyes, although one did this service already in the past, comes specifically from a Jew Bikurim, since regarding all purposes of all matters of the world, being that they are not a purpose for themselves, rather a means for something else, for the Jewish people and for the Torah, there can be a day and most certainly a moment in time that is continuation of the service of the day before, or a preparation and means for the following day specifically. The Jewish people have the power to accomplish that every day it should be anew in your eyes, a true renewal similar to the renewal of every day and every moment of the creation from nothing to something, all through Hashem himself. Moreover, every day, which includes also every moment, as such that this new moment becomes a new beginning in one's service in Torah and mitzvahs, which include in it all moments until the end culmination of his service, similar to how specifically the Jewish people have the power to innovate new Torah insights in the Torah itself, since they preceded it, including also accomplishing an innovation in the one studying Torah himself, and he becomes like a new person literally through his Torah study in every day and moment in a new way. With this, we will also understand the explanation of the name Parshas Savo. Although Savo, enter the land, is a preparation and introduction to the fulfillment of the mitzvah upon entering into the land of Eretz Yisrael, nevertheless, being that it is in action and order of the service of a Jew, it, enter, has a purpose in itself, in addition to the fact that in addition to the fact that is an introduction to what comes after it, which includes in the detail all aspects of the service. And this is also the content of the word Savo itself, even at the beginning of the service of a person, when he is merely at the stage of entering, even before he fulfills the mitzvah, he must enter Savo into this in a complete way, knowing that the Savo itself is what his entire service is at the moment, which includes and gives the power to do the service that is after this, and you will conquer it and settle it in it. And the mitzvah of bringing the Bikurim and reciting the Bikurim recitation, including the fulfillment of the covenant in general, and the continuation of the Parsha, and also. And to add that the name of the Parsha Savo denotes that Savo, enter, is a certainty. It is not speaking about the command to enter the land, and the key which when denotes the order in which this will take place, namely that certainly it will be fulfilled, that you will enter the land and you will conquer it and settle in it, in the matter of, and it will be when you will enter. Wherever it says it means immediately, including the immediately we will fulfill the mitzvah of Bikurim, to And the spoken above has a special connection to the month of Elul when we make a righteous accounting of our service of the past year in preparation for the coming year. The month of Elul, the acronym for the Hebrew word for I am my beloved and my beloved is for me, is a time when every Jew feels close to Hashem, and a closeness is connected to love, as emphasized in the expression beloved. And this is known an analogy of the Alter Rebbe that in the month of Elul, Hashem is like a king in the field, and at this time whoever wants to greet him has permission and can do so, and he receives all of them with pleasant countenance, and shows a joyous face to all of them. Moreover, every person can ask him all that they need. Hence, the content of the Bikurim is even more emphasized, namely the unity of the Jewish people with Hashem, including with closeness and love, my beloved, because of the preciousness of the Jewish people to Hashem. And there is no condition for this, that one must be a Torah scholar, one who studies Torah, who has fulfilled the mitzvahs, etc. Rather, whoever that wants can greet him, and he receives all of them with pleasant countenance, which this emphasizes the essential quality of the Jewish people being the first of the produce of Hashem indeed, that they are united with him with a deep love, notwithstanding their state as it may seem. And this is emphasized even more in the fact that I am for my beloved and my beloved is for me, the acronym of Elul, beginning with I, the essential existence of a Jew, as is in a state of I, his existence in whatever state he might be in, he is drawn and connects from his own initiative and arousal from below to my beloved Hashem, and specifically this, that I am for my beloved, brings afterwards also the phenomenon and my beloved is for me, the connection of love of Hashem to the Jewish people, as the verse says, as the water reflects one's face, so too is the heart of one person to another, the heart of man to man, through the fact that the heart of man below yearns with love for the supernal man Hashem. I am for my beloved. This brings afterward the phenomena of and my beloved is for me, of the heart of the supernal man to man below. And may we say that the fact that a Jew as is an I has the power to accomplish this, including to arouse the phenomenon of and my beloved is for me, expressed in his power, that he is Bikurim, standing before Hashem your God. The Jewish people and Hashem are completely one, and in order that it not be bread of shame unearned, it is revealed through the Jew being below in the world, which conceals his open connection to Hashem, so that he through his service I shall be revealed to this, including that this brings a perfection in the fulfillment of Torah and mitzvahs alluded to in the 5 acronyms of Elul, which correspond to Torah, prayer, acts of kindness, tshuva, and redemption, as spoken in the previous years, as alluded to the word lev, heart, where the love of my beloved, love, heart of one to another is, which has the numerical value of 22 plus 10, and may we say that this corresponds to the 22 letters of the Torah that are revealed through the 10 soul powers of a Jew, which through this they make up together Lev. The Jewish people, the Torah, and Hashem are completely one, which then there is the complete revelation of the unity of the heart of one to another. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. From this we take the following practical lesson regarding the righteous accounting that every person must make in the month of Elul for the service of the year before, in order to perfect and make up for what was lacking or was not done in the complete manner, as well as the appropriate preparation for the service of the coming year, contemplating on the fact that every Jew is Bikurim, and he must be brought before Hashem your God in the base of Mikdash, and this must permeate his entire life, also his mundane matters, not only Shabbos and holidays, not only in the month of Elul and Tishrei, which is full of holidays, rather throughout the entire year, as it is understood how much he must be careful in everything he does, even when it is only a single thought, speech, or action, which seems insignificant in comparison to all other thoughts, speeches, or action. However, upon sufficiently contemplating on the fact that this thought, speech, or action is part of the Bikurim that is brought into base of Mikdash before Hashem your God, and the Kohen that will be in those days scrutinizes every moment, he will certainly put effort and guarantee that every minute thing, every small detail of his conduct should be done with the utmost care. If this is so on all days of the year, how much more so must it be the responsibility to caution together with the merit of the month of Elul, the month of evaluation of the entire past year and the month of preparation for the entire coming year, especially in the last 12 days of the month of Elul, which correspond to the 12 months of the year. Each day corresponds to 1 month. It is even more understood how one must value every moment of the day corresponding to an entire month in making the true soul search and preparation for the coming year. Especially that in addition to the auspicious month of Elul, it is in the year 5751, whose Hebrew letters are an acronym of the Hebrew words, meaning it should be the year in which I will show them wonders, and in preparation for the year 5752, the acronym for it should be the year of wonders in everything. And we may add that it is also an acronym of wonders of understanding, with the virtue that Bina, understanding, has over Chachma, wisdom, seeing. I will show them, and the union of both as one, understanding with wisdom, and becoming wise with understanding, as explained in many places. And in addition to one's own service and all the above, one must see to it to influence other Jewish people around him, that they should do also their service in a complete manner in the month of Elul, in the day of Slichos, and afterward also in the month of Tishrei. Furthermore, and mainly to arouse again regarding the efforts to provide the Sukkos holiday necessary to all those that need it, and before this, that necessitates the Rosh Hashanah eat fatty foods, drink sweet wine, sweet drinks, and send portions to one who does not have, and likewise in the day between, as well as throughout the entire month of Tishrei. In all the above, there is a special lesson regarding the redemption, which must come literally immediately, according to all signs, the ultimate entering the land, the fulfillment and fulfilling the mitzvah of Bikurim in the literal sense, will be in the true and complete redemption, like when we left the land of Egypt, as is discussed in the passage of Bikurim, being that this is the most important and timely matter, since according to all signs the redemption should have already come while ago. It is understood that the action of you shall answer and say before Hashem your God, especially in the month of Elul, when whoever wants to greet him has permission to do so, and he receives all of them with pleasant countenance and shows a joyous face to all of them. There must especially be a request in a lifted voice, until when it should already be the redemption in the literal sense. And being that the answer and say comes from a Jew who is Bikurim for Hashem, completely one with Hashem, and the answer and say is that before Hashem your God, including also in the meaning of Lefaneh, Baminius, as mentioned above, it is understood that the answer and say has in its sense to bring the redemption in a literal sense, just as we screamed out to Hashem in the Egyptian exile, and Hashem heard our voices, and he took us out with a strong hand, and he brought us and he gave us the land. Moreover, before they call out, and I will answer, being that there is a person to do the action of the calling out, a Jew, and he's in a state of they will call out. Hashem does not wait until there is an actual outcry. Rather, before they call out, I will answer. Although there is the known saying of our Rebbes, our leaders, which was printed and publicized, that not with our will did we go into exile, and not with our will did we go out of exile, rather with the will of Hashem. This is, however, speaking as a Jew has his own will, our will, which is separate from, heaven forbid, the will of Hashem in this physical world and worldly matters. However, as a Jew is in a state of being one with Hashem, and especially in the month of Elul, when there is a state of I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me, he does not have his own will. Rather, in the words of the Mishnah, make his will your will, and in order that he will make your will like his will. The will of Hashem is the will of the Jew, and the will of the Jew is the will of Hashem. A Jew has in his power to accomplish that Hashem should nullify the exile and bring the redemption literally immediately. The concept of exile has no connection at all to a Jew, since the place of a Jew is at his father's table before Hashem your God in the Beis Hamikdash, and the fact that Hashem made an exile is in order to bring about the service of a Jew, to reveal in the world that he is Bikurim for Hashem, and that the Jewish people and Hashem are completely one, and through this immediately nullifying the exile and take out all the good and lofty matters that there are in the exile, including to transform Gola, exile, into Gula, redemption, through revealing Aleph, Alufo, Shlema, Olam, Master of the universe, the intention of Hashem in the exile, the virtue of tshuva, which comes through descent into exile. And although it is written, if a person says, I will sin and I will do tshuva, he is not given a chance to do tshuva. However, Hashem sent the Jewish people into exile. Not with our will did we go into exile, as mentioned above. Only it came about through the awesome one. Hashem devised a plan for the people only in order to raise the Jewish people to a higher level. Hence, through the answer and say of a Jew, he has the ability to nullify the temporary concealment and descent of exile and insert the Aleph, Aluf, Shel, Olam, Master of the world, to reveal in it the true and complete redemption. And may it be the will of Hashem that through answer and saying of a Jew that he begs and cries out to Hashem, please have mercy and take the Jewish people out of exile already and already bring the true and complete redemption through Mashiach. And may Hashem will it that this should accomplish its goal and bring redemption literally immediately, and all the Jewish people and every Jew go and come to the land that Hashem your God gives you an inheritance, and you shall conquer it and settle it, and you shall take it from the first of the fruit of the field, and you shall answer, and you should say it should be literally immediately. Thank you for watching this episode of Dvar Malchus. Siman Tov. Just may you be scribed in the book of life for a complete and healthy new year. Lashana Tova.